So guys, good evening. I tried to record the fall of Bitcoin today, but it was not possible. So I'm going to make a shortcut again. So we see now that the Bitcoin breaking finally below 95K, already near of all-time high of Bitcoin. What was not possible to break above the very important 100K, and it will happen what it has to happen. The Bitcoin will go down soon. First of all, testing the levels at around 92, then 88. After that, we will come to around 82.49, and this is the very important level. And look here, why it is important, guys, because we are at 61.80 retracement of Fibonacci. Already all these levels are valid because they are all on bigger time frames on daily here. So the levels of low time frame you can't forget about, because as I told you, the big guys, the big sharks, they are all on higher time frames. So you need to get validation here. And so the first expected is a correction to around 80 to 79, 257. Once we break that level, we enter at around 75,800, the very important high value area. And if that happens, and here the Bitcoin should not be able to find any significant support, and with significant I mean that if the market coming down and not immediately the buyers try to stop that shake, then the market goes for long-term POC, and this is at around 58 to 60. 58 to 60, and look at this here. This is the magic, and if you want it or you don't want it, I don't care about it. The market will, of course, not care about what you think or what you wish, because it will happen. So the Bitcoin will go to 58 to between 58 to 60 to this area, and it will happen because this is the very important POC, and this POC is acting well. How can I describe it? It is acting like a very big magnet, meaning that the price is always attracted to this level. It doesn't matter on which time frame you are. It doesn't matter if Michael Saylor or another son of the bitch is trying to manipulate Bitcoin or how. The price, it will happen as it has to happen. Wherever the market is, it will get attracted again to the POC of that time frame. And the bigger, the higher the time frames, the more important, the more stronger will the POCs be. So if you say, okay, but on my 5-minute chart, on 30-minute chart, my POC is something, guys, forget about that bullshit. All right, I even am not laughing about that unfunny joke you tell me. So POCs only on higher time frame. Weekly, monthly is the best, of course. And we are here on daily, and we see here this is the volume accumulation, because up from here the rally started to get up. And if we go back, we see the higher the market increased, the lower or the less volume it was trying to build. With other words, we have here all known value or low value areas. And if the market is making always, let's say, the market is trying to break range, right? So something like that. And if the market tries to get up but coming down, it has a reason, because at these areas we have very, very, very low volume. So that means there are no buyers anymore who will be attracted on that price, because the price seems to be very expensive. The same is true as the market coming down, for example, breaking below that and getting high immediately, meaning that we have then also low value and also low volume. Why? Because then there are maybe sellers, they want to sell it much more, but there are no buyers anymore. They say, no, you know what? I'm not interested about that price, because Bitcoin is too expensive to me. You must go more down, then maybe I am accepting your price, right? So this is the reason, and the move was very fast. The only reason that Bitcoin was up was the announcement of Donald Trump that he is crypto friendly. What a crazy guy. So I don't like him, right? So not personally, but politically, I'm not willing with his policy. So, but that's my personal opinion. I'm neither with Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. So I'm a non-political person. But the problem is that some months ago, he was announcing and talking very positively about gold and dollar and fiat currency, and now Sunday about cryptocurrency. And there is only one reason I can explain it to me what that happened. And the reason is he wanted the vote of young people for him to become again president. That's all. Not all that. Why is the Bitcoin fundamentally falling? Because now he tried to nominate a hedge fund manager who is called Scott Bassett. That's this guy, right? Scott Bassett. So he picks him or nominating him for Treasury as Treasury Secretary. So, of course, Bassett is a well-known businessman, also economist, that's good. But the problem is he likes very good Treasury bonds. And Treasury bonds are the biggest enemies of cryptocurrencies and biggest enemies of the stock market and so on. Even though they are, the US dollar is reacting today very negatively to this news. What is wondering me, because normally the US dollar has a positive correlation with the treasuries some way. And also nearly all assets are reacting very bearish to this news. That's not a good sign. On the other side, more sorrows and more fears are increasing that maybe the Fed in his next or in its next FOMC meeting will have bad surprises for the market. So therefore now, a lot of people who are in Bitcoin are taking profits. The other side are, of course, the sellers, the power sellers. For example, people like me who don't like Bitcoin. But much more importantly is not even MicroStrategy, market seller, is able doing that, because now his own shares, the shares of his own company, are under big pressure. On Friday, 2 days ago, so Friday last week, shortly before the close, the stocks and shares of Michael Saylor fall 20% down, and that's not good. Why? Because he's holding, or the value of his company is based only on Bitcoin, so his company has zero value, meaning he's not producing anymore anything. He has a lot of debts, more than 25 times of the paper value of the car of its company. So let's say if the value of his company is around $1 billion net, then his net bets and debt are 20 times higher, right? That means he has maybe $1 billion, and he has on the other side more than $20 billion of debt. And that's not good, guys, because nobody is going to buy bullshit, a piece of shit stock like that, like MicroStrategy. So there are a lot of American traders who are buying Bitcoin but selling on the same time the MicroStrategy to hedge themselves. So they are short on MicroStrategy, and that means the higher the Bitcoin goes and Michael Saylor tries to buy more, but on the other side he sees that his shares are coming down. That puts him into trouble, because then shortly before margin call he need to have some cash flow liquidations, and as he has no net assets and not producing nothing, no sales, the only possibility is to sell the Bitcoins he has bought, and that way he pushes Bitcoin much more under pressure. So again, very important, the market coming down, if you are bullish, you need then to have a look at around 90, how the market is behaving around 90. So we can go back here and we see here that the market has no significant volume. So the market is going now to first consolidate here between 87 to 90. After that, we may have some pushback. The power will not be too high. Why? Again, because the volume is low, right? If we would have, for example, here very big volume, then we would have a different situation. And then we could say, all right, the market coming down, making a pullback, gaining new power, and then can go along and higher than 100. Not now, not at this moment. So the market is intending to get back to 76, which is the value area high limit. And intention, the real intention is trapping some unexperienced traders to get high, but to fall down deeply between 58 to 60K. 58 to 60K. And we see we have here some way of accumulation for a very, very, very long time. After that, the market will also try to get back to around 51 to 54, because we have there a very big gap at the beginning. We see here at around 49.71. The gap is beginning until 53.772, right? So this is the gap area, and Bitcoin will come back here at around 49 to 50 and then starts to get up. And I hope if he's doing that, this time the move has to be a little bit more slower, and of course with a lot of sideways that way. And this is the only possible technical way that Bitcoin can regain power, build a lot of accumulation levels in between, so that maybe the next pullback or fall down of Bitcoin can be stopped. So now for some who are also bullish and don't believe but everything only what Trump and Michael Saylor, the same guys, are saying. So what will happen now if Bitcoin will go around? So the first target would be at around, and this is the 120 Fibonacci at around 107. 107, 107.50, something around that. If Bitcoin can hold above 100 this time and maintain slowly, the next level will be at 113. The next level will be at 130, and the final level will be at around 148 to 150. So it won't happen. It won't happen this year. I don't think so, because on December the 19th, so that's around, let me check, 5 days, 24 days from now on. Today is November the 15th. The Coinbase has new regulations regarding of CBTC, C Bitcoin, and W Bitcoin, which are backed one-to-one. But that's new regulations of Bitcoin, of Coinbase, are of course not so good for Bitcoin because it's slowing down the move of Bitcoin. But for longer term, it is good for Bitcoin because that's healthy. And those regulations will be followed by a lot of hundreds, maybe thousands of further regulations. That means the governments now want to control Bitcoin. So you can say bye-bye Bitcoin, bye-bye decentralization, bye-bye the freedom coin or peace coin or whatever you call Bitcoin. So all your wishes have come true now. You have chosen someone as the US president because he said, I like Bitcoin, but you never asked what is his real intention. And his real intention is to control the digital currency, the Bitcoin. With other words, in some years, you cannot wonder anymore that suddenly Fed says, for example, we intervene Bitcoin or we sell Bitcoin. With other words, the governments now have directly their fingers in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will not be, and of course all other currencies, cryptocurrencies, will not be something different. That means if you transfer something to anyone else, you have no anonymity anymore, what you had. So the privilege, what you had until now regarding Bitcoin is over, guys. That's it. That's over. And you can blame yourself because you have been voting for Donald Trump. That's all. You are following guys like Michael Saylor. That's all. But that's your own fault, and you need only to blame yourself, right? If someone is saying his opinion against Bitcoin, you attack that guy, but you are so blind that now you have been the victim of your own greediness. That's all. And the bad news is, you never again can get out of it. That's all. The idea of Bitcoin is dead, gone, it's killed. You can discuss a lot of, but I don't want, and I have no time to waste my time for this discussion. So this is only a message why Bitcoin is going down, and also for some other people maybe. So we will see again. You see, most of my predictions of the last year about Bitcoin, my other videos, you can see I was all the time right. It will happen. So your technical analysis on low time frame does not and do not help you, and you have to face this reality, the very painful reality now in the face. All right, but keep care of your trades and have a good time.